Hi, I'm Jenny. Welcome to my channel where we focus on using ordinary materials to make beautiful things. Today I am going to work in my Halloween journal. I spent some time putting it together and I put some stuff in some pockets, but I haven't put anything on any of the pages and it's almost Halloween. So I guess I'm gonna have to put together some of the ephemera that I made into an envelope and maybe put it inside and leave it for later. Oops. So this is the front of my journal. There are several other videos where I showed making it. So I just covered a binder and then I have put some tags and things that I've made in the front. And again, these came from other videos. So today what I'd like to do is I'd like to pick a page and do a little portrait. I'm not sure if it's going to be this page or not, other pages. And I'm going to use the, oops, I have a cat who wants to chew on the ribbons. Down you go. I'm going to be using the packing tape transfer method to get kind of a ghostly look. So we'll pick a page in a minute. There are multiple pages, backgrounds to choose from. This has been standing upright and it's gotten a little bowing just a little bit, but I think it'll lay flat once and we can pull the page out to work on it. So I'm not really sure which one I want. I think we should do the transfers first and then we can audition the pages. So let's just set that aside for now. I have done this on other videos, but we're gonna do it again because it makes kind of a transparent image, and so I'm going for kind of a ghostly image. So all I've done is covered these cutouts from magazines. These two are from a doll magazine. And I have just covered them with packing tape. And so I am going to, this is a cutout from a book, an image from a book. And I'm going to soak them in water for a few minutes and then just rub the back off. So I will probably go soak them and then cut and come back and kind of rub some of it off and then cut away and show you the final product because it takes a few minutes and that's not something you probably want to watch me do the whole thing of. So here's my little story. I have these two dolls, which I personally find this kind of doll a little bit creepy. So to me, the Halloween journal is a good place to put images like this. I had bought the magazine. I bought it at a used bookstore for like 50 cents. And my thought was I could, take off this part and make like a paper doll, put a person on it because I like the clothes. But I think it might be fun for this. So you can see it's shiny because I've got the packing tape already on it. So here's my little story. I have these two sisters who are now ghosts, and they are part of a tragic lover's triangle. And so one of them spends all of her time carrying around the head of the man that each of them thought was going to love her. So, and apparently maybe he didn't love either of them in the end. I don't know. But so that's kind of my story. So let me get some water, because what we've done is I've just covered it with packing tape. We're going to soak it in water because that's going to take off this back layer of paper, and it's going to leave the image kind of transparent that we can put down. And then if we don't like the shininess of it, which I probably don't really want, I kind of want it to look ghostly, I'll put some clear gesso over it to take down the shininess. So let me grab some water and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just have a little tub of water. It's just one of my storage tubs. And I'm just going to submerge my designs in there. So the plastic will protect the design itself, and the water is going to soak off the paper behind. Okay, so we're just gonna let that sit for a few minutes. You can see it's curling up a little bit. It's okay. It'll be all right. Later, once we take off the paper, it'll lay flat again. It'll be fine. So you can always turn it over. So I'm going to let this sit for maybe 5 minutes, and then I will be back to take the backing off. Okay, I'm back. I have done one of the paper dolls, and I can tell you I messed it up. I think it's fixable, but it took the packing tape wasn't wide enough, so when I put it up next to it, I didn't overlap it enough to make it one piece, so it kind of came apart there and over here. I think when I glue it in, it'll be totally fixable. It'll be fine. The other thing is, I went a little rub happy, and I was rubbing, and I rubbed off part of the bottom of the image I was trying to save on this side. So I was a little aggressive there. You can see there's still some paper here that could rub off. But I had gotten so aggressive there, I was kind of afraid to rub too much. So we'll see. I think it's still pretty see-through. And I thought, since it's a ghost, if part of her dress fades into nothingness, then that's okay. So here's the deal. You pull it out of the water, and so it's together with the tape. And then you just want to gently, because I did it a little too aggressively. You just want to start rubbing. And might take it a minute to get started. Once you get it started, it's pretty easy, because there we go. There we go. It's starting. You can see it starting to come off. Once you get started, it kind of just balls up there. See? So it's really just a matter of rubbing away that paper backing. And you can leave more or less of the little bit of the kind of white behind it. So the white makes it a little more opaque, but it's still going to be a little see-through. So you can still see there's kind of light coming through there. You can kind of see. It's hard to see here. You'll see it better when we put it against the pattern paper. So I am going to continue taking this off, and I will be back when I am done with this one, and we can audition them on some pages and figure out what we're gonna do with them in the book. Okay, I'm back with my journal and my cutouts here. Let's just kind of see, when we're ready to work on the page, we'll kind of pull them out. So you can see this one I was not nearly as aggressive, and it's not as see-through. It's a little see-through, but not as much as this one is. This one is much more see-through. You can see it's kind of fading, and you can see the background behind it. And since she's a ghost, I think that's okay. So let's see, there's this background. I'm thinking I want something that looks like that. I want it to look like it's a picture. So this is kind of maybe portrait looking background. That one might be a good one. I don't want anything this busy. I don't think that's too busy. This one looks like a portrait, like you'd go, have your picture done, and this is kind of a portrait looking background. That one might be nice. I don't like that one as much. This one kind of looks like wallpaper. Still, I don't know that I want the busy in the background. No. This one definitely goes with their hair. I don't think there's enough contrast. Too dark. Stripes. Okay, let's go back to, losing pieces here. This one, although there's not as much contrast, definitely looks like a portrait. And then this one, I think I kind of like the metallic one, so let's do this one. Just pull that out. Set that aside. Okay, So at this point, see, you can see I didn't do a very good job with the tape here. I didn't get my tape quite straight, and it separated a little bit when I was pulling it apart. So I think we can fix that gluing it down. That should be okay. And then she's a little more transparent because I got a little overzealous with her. So we can overlap them a little bit. I think that's fine. You know, which dress do we want in front? I think we want hers in front because she's the one carrying the head. So I think if we have this, we can kind of put her back together here. We're just gonna have to piece her a little bit, and then we'll cut like her hand open so that she's carrying the head here in front. Maybe we'll move her off to the side a little bit. We can lose a little of her dress, it's okay. Because it's just this little pool, the little puddling of it over here. Right, because this goes up here. So about there, I think. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is get these glued down because they are being a little fussy, right? So we'll get her glued down. A little bit of her dress off the edge there. Okay. So I am just using my universal wallpaper and border adhesive. It works pretty well for gluing things down. They're a little bit larger. I just like a brush, and then you kind of put it on. And it provides, you know, a good amount of stick, and it sticks pretty quickly. Doesn't take it too long to dry. So I probably should be doing this on a book page, but alas, today I'm living dangerously. So you can see I got a little aggressive. I mean, I was enjoying because I got a lot of the white off, and you could still see her. But then I started rubbing a little too much, and I lost her. So you just kind of have to strike a balance between, you know, how much of it you want to see through, and how much of it you want to be a little more opaque. Right, you can see I've got this is where I had the tape. You just want to fix that. Try to piece her back together a little bit here. This is the piece of her dress that goes right there. Because I didn't get the tape overlapping, I had it butted right up against each other instead of overlapping it a little bit. So it came apart when I took the paper off, because the paper is what was holding it together. So I just need to get this in here. Trying to get this straightened out. And now I think I've lost my glue on there, haven't I? Maybe. Okay. And I am going to put a coat of clear gesso over the top to keep this from being quite so shiny. So that will help as well. That will help mold it all down here. Okay, let's see if we can get this piece on here. So I keep meaning to do some work in my Halloween journal, but things have just conspired against me lately. My daughter, I made the journal and I did a couple of videos on making the journal and some of the ephemera for the journal. And then my daughter came to town and we had some fun. We took a little vacation. And then she left, and then I was sick. I got sick. I had walking pneumonia. So it's kind of conspired against me here. Okay, and you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, but you can see the texture through. So she's a little see-through here, like she's a ghost, and you can kind of see the texture of the page underneath through to the top here. This one I did a better job of holding together, but it's also a little more opaque because I didn't take nearly as much off. So you can see I left a good deal of the white. I could rub more off and it would be much more see-through. But then the question becomes, you know, how much of it should I rub off, and am I going to get too much? You know, am I going to take too much, which is what happened down here. So I'm gonna go with this, and she's a little bit closer, so she's a little bit larger. She's in front, and then she also has that severed head. Right, wouldn't be Halloween without something fun like that. So I had never made like a full Halloween journal. Well, I have like a little small decorative Halloween thing that I made years and years ago that I found with my Halloween decorations. So that was kind of fun, but this is the first time I've got like a full journal that I can play in, and then I didn't even end up playing in it hardly. So I guess the good news is Halloween will be back next year. So I managed to get some glue there. Maybe I'll be able to get to play with it then, because then I'll have the journal made, right? I won't have to make it next year. Is this behind? Can't tell which one should be in front. Maybe this one. Okay. Just kind of push that down a little bit. And again, I think, you know, if you see through it or whatever, she's a ghost. It's okay. So you can see I rubbed a little more here on her arm, and you can see more of the background here, a little bit on her face, but her dress is a little more opaque. But she's kind of in front of the other one, so the other one looks like she's a little more faded in the background, which I kind of like. And I forgot to snip her little fingers apart. Let's see if I can. Oh, good. That's not quite stuck yet. And I just want to do a little snip here. If I can get it, because now it's stuck. Now it has glue. Now it's all thin. I just want to be able to slide his head in here. So it looks like she's kind of holding on to it. So that's what we're after. Put a little glue on here. I contemplated, you know, making the head a little more gory, but I don't know that I'm really interested in it being gory per se. Just, you know, just the idea of it is enough, I think. I think just the idea, and I just moved it. I am just struggling with this one today, guys, and I should have cut this further up so that his head goes a little further up. This sounded like such a good idea to me earlier. There we go, that's better. And now, you know, sometimes you have these good ideas and they sound really good, and then you do them and it's like, maybe not so much. Okay, I'm just gonna trim this little bit of her dress hanging off here. Don't want that catching on stuff later. All right, so we kind of have this, and I like it, but I do think I want to put a little bit of the clear gesso on here just to tone it down. I think it's a little too shiny. So let me see if I can clean the glue off of this brush and we can just use it. I just don't want it to be shiny, so and then I'm not sure. I think we need, it's like a portrait, so I'm trying to decide, should we put like a frame, like do a gold frame and kind of make it look like it's, you know, here's a portrait, or should we just let it stand alone like it's a photo album? Should we decorate their dresses or the head? I feel like we kind of need to call attention to the head. He's kind of hanging out down there, and not looking too much like he's, I mean, he is obviously just a head hanging out, but you know, I think we need to emphasize him somehow. But I don't know that I'm, you know, I'm looking, like I said, I don't know that I'm looking for gore. Okay, that should take the shine down a little bit. So let's do a little on this one too. So I'm not sure. I'm contemplating it here. What would you guys do? This will dry clear. It is clear gesso. It's just going to give it more of a textured matte finish, which will kind of maybe, you know, match the texture of the paper a little bit, because the paper is textured. This is some painted paper that I had previously done. It looks like it's watercolor paper, maybe. So, all right. So I think we're just going to have to let this dry a little bit. I might get out my heat gun and dry it, but I think the clear gesso might do better over the tape. Just kind of letting it dry on its own. So, all right. So I'm going to let this dry and contemplate what we're going to do with it, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. This is dry. My page is bowing just a little bit, and honestly, it's still a little too shiny for me. And the truth is, I feel like they don't look very ghostly. So I'm thinking I'm going to try a tiny, tiny little bit of gesso. And I mean, I'm literally thinking I'm just going to grab some scrap paper here. That I'm just going to, oops, like use my finger maybe to dab the tiniest little bit, because I just don't feel like they're faded enough. You can see the white gesso is picking up a little bit of the tooth from the clear gesso. So right now I'm just playing. You know, I wanted to do this page, and I've been struggling with that tape transfer, and the idea maybe didn't turn out the way I had hoped. Well, it actually did not turn out the way I'd hoped. So it's got that little bit of clear gesso on it. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of white over the top here. Although my rubbing is taking off some of the clear gesso, I see, so I need to not rub so hard. But my thought is I might be able to make them look a little more ghostly, which is the idea, because it's my Halloween journal. So I'm hoping this will help. And I'm still not really sure how to emphasize the head. I think I may have to, you know, outline it a little bit just to get it a little pop. But it's ghostly too, so I don't want to, you know, I don't want to make it too dark because it's supposed to be a ghostly head. I want this just to look kind of old and ghosty. Guess that looks old and ghosty. Could have saved myself a lot of trouble and just done this to start with and not even done the tape transfer thing, huh? Oh well. You just never know until you try. I mean, this is one of those things that, you know, you have problems, it doesn't, you don't like the way it looks, and you try something else to make it more how you want it to look, and you just keep doing stuff to it and until you like it. That's really all you can do. You know, and in the end, it's just paper. It's just paper and a little bit of paint, a little bit of tape. Not really out anything. You know, if I totally hate it, I'll cover it up with something else, right? I mean, there is always that. So, I think maybe the white gesso is giving us a little better effect, a little more ghostly kind of effect here. Don't want it on the paper, I just want it on them, though. Although, I don't know, I wonder about putting like a white aura around them. Maybe that would be, maybe I should take a little bit of the gesso and do a little, you know, out around. That might be a good idea. He should be a little ghostly as well. I don't feel like I'm covering him up. And right, since it's got that clear gesso on the top of it, it's kind of wiping off a little bit. Yep, at this point I'm pulling up the gesso. It's coming off. So, heavy sigh. Heavy sigh. It's just not working. I don't know, and in the light I still see shiny. And I would think having the clear gesso and the white gesso over the top that would not still be shiny. I guess it kind of depends on how the light hits it. So those are my ghosts. I wonder about just kind of doing a little aura around them. Get a little more gesso here. Just kind of using a scrubby kind of brush. Add around the edge a little bit. Just like it's a little bit of a ghostly aura around them. I'm liking how this looks, so I think that's a good idea maybe. We'll try this. Why not? I mean, you know, like I said, it's only paper. This is my scruffy old brush anyway, so. I'm liking the aura out around them, a little bit of ghostly luminescence. I think that's a good addition. Now the question is do we get something there? Do we do something to make that head pop off? Or do we just kind of let them be ghosts there with that head? I don't know, I'm thinking maybe we do want just a little hint of red here, just to maybe hint at the fact that it's a head. I think he could use a little more. Wiped off some of the white from him. And Well, let's see. We could achieve that maybe with some distress ink. Got candied apple. Let me get, let's see. Another little brush here. See if we can get a little. Just to indicate maybe a little bit. Don't know. I can scrape it down a little just so it's kind of. I'm thinking with the aura there, it's, you know. I don't know, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. Maybe just a little more down in here. I don't know. What do we think? I feel like it needs something else, but I'm just not really sure because I don't want to put jewels and stuff on it because that's going to bring it forward. You know, if we outline it, is that going to bring it too much forward? Outlining it? What do you think? Maybe if we use a fine liner. Let's see. Got a little fine liner. Let's try the head and let's do a little fine line outlining on the head. Just some little craggy bits maybe. Like his eyes. I don't know. What do we think? I kind of like it on the head down there maybe, but should we outline the girls? I feel like they need something, so I guess as long as I feel like they need something, then they're not quite done. So maybe we'll just do a little line work here. Maybe just to give them a little definition. I'm not looking for fat lines. Just something to help them along here. I do like the white out around them, but I feel like it's, you know, maybe too much. As usual, I can't draw anything and talk to you at the same time. That does seem apparent, doesn't it? Don't really know why that is. I just start, you know, put a pen in my hand and I just get quiet. So maybe it's because I spent my whole, you know, the whole time I was in school and, you know, 2 degrees, and then as a teacher and everything else, it's like if I was writing, I wasn't talking. So maybe it's that. I used to draw on all of my papers when I was young. I was doodled all over everything. Let's see. And I kind of want it to look scary, so this is not, you know, this is not meant to be. That's a little scary, actually. I kind of like it, so it's a little more scary. I kind of like the little outline. They're glowing, they're ghosts, but they're definitely there. That outline says, I'm definitely materializing here. And there's my phone, so I will answer that and be right back. Okay, I'm back. While I was talking, I did a little more drawing, actually, while I was listening. Because we all know I can't talk and draw at the same time. But while I was listening, I did a little more drawing here. But really all I did was just outline it. And honestly, the more I look at it now, the more I like it. I think I like the outlining on it. I think it kind of gives it a little more sinister look with the kind of glowing around it. I like the red down here. So I'm going to call that one good, I think, and just put it back into that notebook. Let's see. Apparently when I open the pages, I let this one out. Some of these, as you can see, are kind of bowed. I think I might need to put a book on top of them. On the other hand, by the time I finish, you know, doing all the pages, they'll probably flatten out a little bit. That one kind of has some bowing issues, but it'll be okay. So there's my first ghosties here. So unfortunately, I didn't get to really any other things in here. I have put some things in the front. I don't know if I showed you guys. I have some ephemera. I've got some tags that we made, a journaling card, some tags that were made when we were doing all of the ephemera for it. And then in the back I have this. I thought this was really creepy, and we went to this show and I thought that was fun. And then I have some artist trading cards from last Halloween that I put in here. So I have a few things in the pockets. I'm thinking that I'm just gonna put together like a packet of some of the ephemera I've made and put it in the front and just put it in the journal and then work on it as time permits. This has kind of a nice crinkly sound to it, even though it's kind of bowing a little. So that is that for today. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Really helps me out in the ratings with YouTube, gets other people to watch. You know, when you get a video that people like, they pop it up and show it to other people who don't know you. So that's always very helpful for me. I really appreciate it. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed. If you haven't, I invite you to do so. And until next time, remember, use what you have to make your life more beautiful. Bye.